want to share a clip coming from the Human School podcast that talks about like how to use your notes app on your phone to guide your mental health to a better place. Let's watch together.
I have this little trick that I do. Basically, the 4 categories in your notes app would be thought, feeling, impulse, truth. So what I'll do is if I'm freaking out about something, I will just write down, I can't believe I said that. Why am I such an idiot? They're going to hate me, blah, 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 blah. And then I go to feelings and I write down shame, fear, sadness, regret, whatever, impulse, smoke a cigarette, go on TikTok, have a Coke, whatever. And then you write down the truth. And so what that does is you are able to acknowledge the thought and then see it on paper for what it is, acknowledge your feelings, so then you process the feelings, right? You're naming them and they're being released, and then you're keeping track of what that's leading you to do and stopping yourself in the tracks. And then you affirm the truth, which is like, I love them no matter what, or there's still time to make this right, or whatever that is. You don't have to gaslight yourself. You don't have to write down things and just hope that they're true. You have to actually acknowledge, what do I know to be true about this thing? Once you do that enough times, you start to recognize a pattern. I start thinking this thought, that leads to shame, that leads to smoking. Okay, so now that you see that, then when it comes up again, you're like, oh, there's that thought again. I've done the work, and then you're able to automatically adjust it back to the truth that you reaffirmed.
So this is actually a perfect example of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is super powerful tool for mental health. And the reason that I know about this is because for me, shortly after getting out of the hospital after the whole acute phase of my life-threatening illness back in 2014, I went through some severe PTSD, where any time I felt any symptoms, I immediately went to worst case scenario and thought I was gonna die, or that I was gonna end up back in the hospital.
I'm dying.
And this, of course, that's some severe panic attacks. And so I had this one therapist who really helped me get through this with the ideas of CBT. Now the main premise that this guy addresses is, of course, analyzing your thoughts and seeing them for what they are, especially because sometimes our thoughts can be illogical. It's for instance, if someone is rude to you, you then think everyone hates you. But you can look at that thought for what it is and be does everyone hate you? Or is it one person just having a really rough day? Or if it's health related, like how it was for me, let's say one day I woke up and my arm was a bit sore. So I then rushed to, oh, I must be having a heart attack. Well, maybe is my arm actually sore because I worked out yesterday? Probably and that's probably a lot more likely. And the main key with cognitive behavioral therapy is your actions. So acknowledging that the thoughts are there, thanking your mind for bringing this to your attention, but then making sure that the action that you take is in alignment with the goals for yourself and the person you want to become.